Can't stop, addicted to the shindig. Chop top, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not a life of imitation. Distant cuts into the reservation. Pre-funk the pistol that you pay for. Dispunk the feeling that you stay for. In time I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end.
Hello everybody and welcome to the first video of the Unbias Blade channel. That is right, we are going to be a blade that is unbiased, very hard for our fan base, but we're going to give it a go. Anyway, today we have my 26-27 championship predictions, and I've already shown you the bottom three. Here it is Portsmouth, Charlton and Preston. So let's deep dive into why I've chose those three to go straight down to League One. Alright, so we got Portsmouth in 24th, and this is mainly because, in my opinion, I just don't see anything that Portsmouth can provide to this new championship season. They're lucky that they survived last season. Obviously, Oxford, Leicester and Wednesday going down. To be fair, Oxford couldn't stay up because I didn't think Oxford were ever going to stay up. Leicester went down because of financial problems, and so did Wednesday. And if Leicester didn't go down, then it was Portsmouth's spot to lose, realistically. They were all for it. Portsmouth had to take it there. Anyway, after Portsmouth, who I don't think have got any fight for this next championship season, we move on to Charlton, who had a cracking season last season for their expectations, for their standards, where they thought they were probably going to be getting relegated, but they stayed up, and they were playing some decent football for their standards. But I think they're going down this time because the level of competition is a lot higher than last season. There's a lot more harder teams that they're going to have to face, so I don't think Charlton have got in the fight. After that, there is the great Spud Bros, Preston North End. See, I haven't seen many people have these to get relegated, but last season football, I don't remember where they finished, but the football they were playing weren't really entertaining, and it weren't working either way. You don't have to play entertaining football to win games, as seen by Arsenal this season. But they weren't winning games. Obviously, there were a few, they stayed up, but they weren't playing proper football, they weren't scoring many goals, and they didn't stick out to anyone as a good team, and I just think that there's stronger teams in this league that can stay up. I wouldn't have Preston to go down normally, but Cardiff, Lincoln and Bolton all look like stronger teams to me than Preston, and that is why Preston have stayed up. So now we're going to move on to our 15th to 21 places, the lower mid-table. Right, we move on to Bolton, and Bolton barely staying up. Power of the fan base, realistically, and the power of the fact that they're almost a fallen giant. I've had this debate before, but they should stay up, especially above the likes of Preston, Charlton and Portsmouth. Now, they're not the likes of Blackburn and Watford, who could be lower, but they are higher. We'll talk about them more later. But Bolton overall are just a championship level squad. Now, winning the playoffs was easy. I find it funny how most people were saying Stockport were going to win. I don't know what saw the magic in them. 4-1 clearly shows otherwise, doesn't it? But Bolton should stay up. That's all I've got to say about them. You're welcome, Fogden. Now we've got QPR, Queen's Park Rangers, the Hoops. See, I believe I've done this tier list wrong now. If I could just swap Watford and QPR around right now, then I would have. But QPR are here, and they're here for a reason. So I'm not going to comment about the fact that I've mistakenly put them in opposite ranges. But QPR are here, and they're here because they're way above relegation. They will be nowhere near it. They'll be 10 points clear. But QPR they aren't that sort of quality. They aren't the quality the likes of Stoke, the likes of the Blades, the likes of Derby County. They're nowhere near. They've got Swansea next to them right here, and they've got Lincoln next to them. Lincoln will undoubtedly stay up. Lincoln are a quality team, and Swansea are just a championship mid-table team, and will be for a few more years at the minimum. But QPR, however, they keep going down and down slightly and slightly. They are still mid-table, but one day relegation's coming, like we have done with Preston here. One day relegation's coming. They don't have the financial means to get any good players. They get robbed every season. They're not like built for the championship. They're not built for promotion in the championship. They're built for playing football, and that's about it. I find it hard to imagine the life of being a fan of these teams that just sit in the table forever. I don't understand how it'd work, but you know, the Blades themselves are going to stay in mid-table for a few more seasons, so... Anyway, next team. Swansea City are a good team. They are not QPR, I tell you that. They play nice football, they play entertaining football, but they're not obviously in the relegation zone. They're nowhere near the relegation battle, but they're low down because, like I've said with Preston, there's teams above them that play better football, and I believe are going to finish higher not because of form, but because of player quality on paper and managerial and their record from last season. Swansea, in short, aren't a playoff fighting team. That's all I've got to say. Next up on the list, we have Lincoln. Now, Lincoln did an absolutely elite performance in League One last season. Obviously, they won the league. Michael Scabala, the head coach, I think that's how you say it, has left and he's joined Bristol City. Big move for them. Obviously, they've lost the manager. It's going to be hard with a different manager, maybe even interim to start the season. But Lincoln, I believe, will still stay up. The quality in their players is still good, and the backing from their owners is quality. It's almost as good as Wrexham's. So Lincoln should stay up no matter what. And winning the league with that point record, with that amount of goals, Birmingham did it. And where did Birmingham place? They placed, I believe it was 16th. That's decent. So I've got Lincoln in 18th. Blackburn Rovers. See, if things keep going as they're going with their owners, then this could be their last season in the Championship. But even still, if you forget about the owners, they've got a decent group of players. They've got a good fan base. They are a fallen giant. They've still got the backing. The stadium's never really full, but the fans, when they're there, they are there. Really, all I can talk about Blackburn is the fans, because the owners are absolutely rubbish. They could fall into a situation like Wednesday in a few seasons' time, like Leicester, maybe even next season. But Blackburn themselves have decent quality, and they shouldn't go down. They should be nowhere near down. And like I said, they'll probably hold out for many draws and just finish in a mid-table place. Watford, oh Watford. So they're looking for their 15th manager since 2019. Now that, oh my word, that is disgraceful for a football club. How the fans must be feeling, I've got no idea. But Watford, yeah, to be fair, I've got them higher up than most people would probably have them, most people would expect. Because Watford, the players will go for it. And I think this time round, I'm going to be optimistic here. And I'm going to say that Watford are hopefully going to get a new manager. And they're going to sort the club out. And this season will be the season where things change. Obviously, nowhere near the relegation battle, but nowhere near the playoffs. This is kind of the exactly middle ground. But Watford, they're just a middle team. They always will be. Since that Premier League fall-off, they've just been Championship. And there won't be anything else. They're not as middle as Blackburn, who fight relegation. They're not as middle as Norwich, who fight for playoffs. But they're definitely middle, so I've got Watford in 15th. Alright, you've got to hear me out here. I have got Cardiff in 14th. Yes, I have Cardiff in 14th. Because I see things in Cardiff that others don't see. Cardiff, in my opinion, have a better team than Lincoln and Bolton. Not combined, but they definitely have a better team than them. They're better than QPR, they're better than Swansea, and they're on the same level as Blackburn and Watford in terms of squad depth, in terms of squad level, not in terms of managerial level or owners. Cardiff are definitely a Championship club, and I don't think anyone coming up this season will go down, and I don't think anyone going down from the Premier League this season will get back-to-backs like Leicester and Luton. But yeah, Cardiff, they're just a solid Championship squad. They've been here before quite a lot. They know the way around stuff, and in the future they could head for that playoff fight. They could do it next season with the fact that the playoffs are expanded to 8th place, but I don't see Cardiff fighting for playoffs. I don't see them anywhere near the relegation battle. Cardiff City are just a quality team in terms of the Championship. They'll get good points out of big teams, and they'll get easy points out of small teams. They'll finish in that mid-table place. Next on, we've got Derby County. Okay, so I predict a big fall-off for Derby County. I believe that they'll have done all that for the playoffs last year, and they won't have got it. So they kind of just fall off now. They won't bring in many good players like they did last season. Bren Burton Diaz is supposed to be heading Sheffield United, and Ryan Brewster, I believe he'll fall off. And other than that, Derby County, They're not good in squad depth. They're just good in their own starting 11. Derby got them in a mid-table place again. They're close to that playoffs on points. I'll give them, but still, as I've said, nowhere near relegation, nowhere near playoffs. No matter how close they are on points, they're still nowhere near it because of the big gap in terms of placement. Derby County's squad level isn't fit for playoffs. They wouldn't have been last season if they got to the playoffs. They wouldn't have done a Hull and won the playoffs. No, they would have gone out. It would have been over by the first semi-final. So I've got Derby County in 13th, and that's where I'm going to keep them. So we have Norwich City. You've got to hear me out here. Everyone will probably try and get me to put Norwich over Watford and swap them round, but Norwich, they've got a good manager, they've got a good team. If you see the end of the Championship, if you started from January to the end of the Championship, Norwich will probably be in the playoff spots already, because Norwich, they had a quality form run to that end of the season, and they looked like proper football, and I feel like they're going to carry that on into the next season, because the players are finally showing their quality, and it doesn't just stop like that, unless you're Tyrese Campbell, but it doesn't just stop like that. So that's why I've got Norwich in 12th. West Bromwich Albion are bouncing back. They barely avoided relegation last year, but I still see him going for that playoffs, trying to push for it. West Brom, rubbish team, okay manager, and good owners. But everyone will have them lower down. I just don't know what it is. I've got a soft spot for them, and I believe West Brom can do things some other teams can't, can do things the likes of Blackburn, Derby, QPR can't, because West Brom deep down can win games if they realistically want to. If they want to, they could beat Southampton, Norwich, Preston, Stoke, Middlesbrough. It's a tough Championship season for everyone, but West Brom are going to be the dark horses of it. Big call. Southampton in 10th. Yep, Southampton in 10th. They're going to fall off. Loads of players are going to leave. Parachute money is still there, but the players are going to leave. The second season of parachute payments, the final season of parachute payments, but the players are going to leave. You're not going to want to play for a club who's missed out on, they haven't missed out on playoffs, they got playoffs, who has forced themselves out of the playoffs. Tondereka will be sacked. Players will leave. Shea Charles will go to a bigger club, and most players will leave after the leaving of their manager, after the leaving of the backing of the fans, of the arrogance that they'll try and bring. It won't be anything, if you get what I mean, because -4 points as well, if I can add that in. It obviously won't be much. -4, it's what, a win and a draw, and then you're sorted. But the -4 will affect the team's morale, and the team itself will be disbanded, be unbonded, and they'll be left to fend for themselves. So I've got them down here in 10th. I've got it written down and everything. I sound like I was yapping there. We've got Stoke in 9th, just outside the playoff places. Look at this new badge, this beautiful new badge. Stoke City can do great things. I don't know where they finished last season. I know it was probably mid-table. But Stoke are going to fight for them playoffs. And they're going to get close to them. They'll probably lose out to them, just 3 games before, because teams above them are just better. But Stoke are better than the rest below, that's all I can say. Obviously not Southampton, but like I said, with the -4, could just put them below Stoke. Might not be massive, but could make them from 9th to 10th. Stoke are just a good club, and Stoke are a club that will fight for the playoffs because of their brilliant manager, and all round the quality of the players, the new players that will come out of nowhere and will play good football. I've got them in 9th. Yep, take it in now, look where I have people. Yep, you can all shout at me. I've got Birmingham in 8th, because Birmingham started the season really well. Most players who performed last season didn't perform as well as they should have. Birmingham will get playoffs. They'll beat Stoke to the playoffs, just barely, but they will get there. And yeah, that's all I've really got to say, because Birmingham aren't a good club. They've got good money, and that's what's going to get them there, is the good owners and the good funding and the good recruitment. It's the actual players they've got right now won't do it. They could get 9th, they could get 10th, but it's the recruitment that I believe is going to get them into 8th. They're going to get that playoffs. They're not going to win them, but they're going to definitely get there. Millwall. Yeah, I've got Millwall in 7th. Millwall easily getting playoffs. They got playoffs last year. They finished 4th, 3rd last year. They'll get playoffs. next year, 7th, because they'll fall off. Femi Aziz will leave, all the big players will leave, but they'll still get playoffs because of the expansion, and they should get there anyway because of the quality and the manager. Millwall, in short, are finishing 7th. I ain't got any explanation that I need for that. Most people should back me that they will get playoffs because they are a good side. Sheffield United, the Blades, finishing in 6th. What would have been a normal playoff place last season is now the semi-final place this season. Sheffield United bounce back. The summer rebuild can go either way. They can finish 15th. They can finish 20th. They could finish 2nd. They could finish 6th. I've got them 6th. The rebuild won't be as good as expected. We'll lose big players. We'll sign alright players. We'll give Chris Wilder another season. And players who we want to shine will shine, such as Femi Sirike, such as Mark McGuinness, such as Michael Cooper when he returns from his injury. Sheffield United will bounce back and they will get playoffs, but they won't win them. They'll be nowhere near winning them. Sheffield United never win playoffs. But they will be good in them. They will play good football all season. They will play good geezer football, if you might like me to say, because of Chris Wilder. Like I said, we give Chris Wilder one more season. This is a season where he determines if he is a Sheffield United manager another season, or if he is never again. All I've got to say is we finished 6th. That's it. Bristol City in 5th place. Lincoln's manager is now theirs after Roy Hodgson's interim stint. The players, they'll be coming back in. There'll be some good players. They've already got good players. Yep, a new team, a new foundation, a new era for Bristol, and I predict like no one else will, they're going to reach new heights. All I've got to say is that they're a quality team, and they're better than us, they're better than Millwall, they're better than Birmingham, they're better than everyone below, aside from Southampton, but they're there, and I put them there. So now we move on to Wrexham, or Deadpool FC as they like to call themselves. I've put Wrexham here in 4th because last year they missed out on players, just barely. But obviously they've got brilliant backing from the owners. They can recruit good players like they did last season. And the manager is a good manager, as he's stuck with them, and he's been a quality manager where he's got them to. It's not all about the players, you know. But yeah, so the players are good, the fan base is really good. Everyone, you'd normally think if a team was good owners like that, it'd be a tin pot club, but no, it's a really good fan base. Wrexham, I've got them in 4th because realistically they can't be any lower. They're a quality team, they're just not better than the ones that I've got above them. Next up we've got Burnley, who've just come down from the Premier League. Here's the first of the 3 sides that have been relegated. I've got Burnley in 3rd because I've got Wrexham in 5th, I've got Burnley in 4th, sorry, I mixed them up there, didn't I? Anyway, we've got Burnley in 4th, because the Clarets are just, they're not better than Middlesbrough above them, because I think, you'll hear the Middlesbrough reasons in a minute, but Burnley, they're going to drop down, and they're not going to go straight back up this time. They're going to lose in the playoff final, but Burnley themselves are a strong team. They could push for that title, they could push for that top playoff spot, and it could be a well-rounded, decent title race. I just don't think that Burnley have got the quality for automatic promotion, especially with the likes of West Ham and Wolves. They are teams that will attract better names than Burnley. Right, now we've got Middlesbrough take the final playoff spot in 3rd place. They just miss out on automatic promotion. Obviously it's going to be a very high point battle at the top of the league. Middlesbrough, all I can say about them is they're a really good club. They bottled it 3 times last year, but they won't bottle it this time. They're going to win the playoff final against Burnley. Middlesbrough, they've got a good fan base. I've got a mate who supports Middlesbrough. They're well-rounded. They've got decent players. Hayden Hackney got player of the season. He should leave. Middlesbrough will attract good names. Middlesbrough could sign Grimes. Middlesbrough will attract people from the Premier League. Middlesbrough will attract people from the Championship. They'll attract good people. They'll attract good names. They've got a good manager. They're going to be feisty for the Rob Edwards derby against Wolves next season. And Middlesbrough could genuinely, they're better than Burnley. I would say their team right now is better than Burnley. They were unlucky to lose to Hull. Hull were the better team. Hull were the best team in the playoffs. That's why they won them. Hull shouldn't have been 6th. Middlesbrough pushed for automatic promotion last season against Coventry, who scored like 98 goals that season, which is a bit bonkers. So yeah, Middlesbrough 3rd. You got to agree with me here. Here are my top spots. It's pretty obvious that I'd have Wolves and West Ham to get automatic promotion, because I don't see any other team being able to fight for that. It's a very strong competitive championship season next season. But Wolves and West Ham have the upper hand. They have the parachute payments, so do Burnley. But Burnley just have a worse team. Wolves team, they were signing Adam Armstrong in the Premier League. They knew they were going down. They were signing players for next season in the Championship. Wolves finished 2nd because they're nowhere near West Ham, but they're levels above everyone else. They've got good youngsters, they've got a good youth, they've got a good youth academy, they've got a good manager. They've got Roy Edwards now. He's got experience in the Championship. He managed in Middlesbrough last season, and look what he was doing with them. Wolves, a quality team. They've got a good stadium, they've got good fans. I don't see why they can't go straight back up. West Ham. I cannot wait to verse West Ham next season. Oh, we are going to be fired up at the Tevez situation where fielded eligible player and sent us down from the Prem and we never came back. But yeah, West Ham, I've got to win the league, and I've got to win the league by a bajillion points. West Ham are such a big club. They have such a big stadium. It's like 62,000 seats or something stupid like that, London Stadium. But West Ham, they also, with a good stadium comes good fans. Even if you don't have good fans, a stadium in that capacity, you have better fans than most. So West Ham win the league because they've got the highest quality of players. Even if they sell loads, like people take wage cuts, they'll sell Jared Bowen, they'll sell Tati Castellanos. But it doesn't matter because West Ham's such a big name that they'll bring in other players, and they'll bring in like low-level Premier League players and high-level Championship players and people from foreigners from other countries. But West Ham can't do anything else but win the league. They're just the best team by a mile. They shouldn't have gone down. If it was Spurs here, if it were Forest here, it wouldn't make a difference. They would still win the league. That's my Championship prediction.
Right, Melia, assistant manager at home. I'm with little lad, top man. I'm telling you now, this kid's going places, Steve.